How are y'all? All right. Dude, I still get anxiety around all you people. I don't know why, bro. Right? I don't know if that ever goes away. Did y'all see the eclipse yesterday? Wasn't that cool, man? Hey, y'all good? I still hear everybody talking. All right. Yeah, man, if you're ever looking for a power greater than yourself, man, that's an example of it yesterday, dude. What's really cool is, we see the sun every day, it's no big deal. We see the moon all the time, it's no big deal. But then yesterday when they kind of crossed paths, it was like, it reminded me, man, that this whole deal's bigger than us. And God is in those details. And, I'm egotistical enough to still think it's all about me, all right? This universe revolves around me. I'm center. And really, my life is very small and insignificant to all this, dude. And, when I first got here, it was things like, not necessarily the eclipse, but it reminded me of how I became willing to believe in a power greater than myself. And that was through creation, through, what happens here on Earth, the way the planet works, the way all the solar system and everything works. And it reminded me yesterday, man, that, when I first got here, dude, I had a lot of prejudices towards God. And because I grew up in church, and I freaking hated it. God, it was boring. I didn't care, didn't pay attention. And if I did, I was just trying to find ways to poke holes in it, like why, to find out why this thing isn't for me. And that's all I found, dude. And when I showed up here, it was prejudices like, things that I heard as a kid that I probably didn't understand it correctly, but it was perceived as, God's just sitting on his throne, and his only job is to judge me, and he ain't happy with me unless I'm doing good or doing right, which wasn't very often. Things like he knows all of my thoughts and can see what I do in the dark. I do my best work in the dark, so that wasn't and then he knows my thoughts, so that ain't freaking good because, I'm always thinking things I shouldn't. I mean, you can use your imagination on what that looks like. And so when I got here, the big book says I need to lay my prejudice to the side about God. And I thought, well, how in the world can I do that? I've grown up around this. I've heard all these things. I got this idea of God already in my mind. How do I come up with a new idea of it? And the big book also mentioned creative intelligence, dude. And that really opened my eyes. I was like, creative intelligence, okay. And basically I had this thought, which I know now was God, but then it was a thought that was, well, maybe I don't need to look for God in the Bible. And some of you are probably struggling with this step 2, willing to believe in a power greater than yourself. Maybe you don't have to look in the Bible, man. Look around you. Yesterday is a big example of a power greater than yourself and how creative it is. And so I started researching and thinking about things not in the Bible. And yes, eventually you will need to get in the Bible and read scripture and learn all that. But if you're just easing into this idea, set the Bible to the side for now. And maybe look around you because God is in those details. And like yesterday, man, everything's on a rhythm. Everything is on a schedule. And yesterday, the earth and the moon are going around the sun, and then every once in a while, it'll line up like that. And then it goes, continuing to do what it does. It was so on schedule that we knew where it was going to happen, where you could see it the best, almost to the exact minute you could see it. And then we already know that the next one is in 2044. That's how on schedule it is. Where did this schedule come from? Why is it always on time? It's working. And it reminded me that God was kind of saying, there it is, man. My creation, working perfect, right on time, right on schedule, the way it was created. And we have to focus on that on our lives, is that you're right on time. You're not here by accident. It's right on schedule. God's got it figured out, man. The stuff ain't by accident. I just started looking at other things, to become willing in a power greater than myself, and just how the trees work, the birds, the animals, the freaking everything, dude. It just works by itself, all perfect. It can't be a coincidence, right? And we don't think about these things because it's all so natural and it happens every day. I mean, I mean, we're literally on a floating rock right now, floating in the middle of nothing, just spinning, right? Spinning so fast you can't tell it's spinning. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? Right? And then the mass of Earth is holding everything on the ground by gravitational pull. Like who can create that, man? No human power. Think about this, and I'll go over this one real quick. I was thinking about this the other day. You know, all the water we have on Earth right now is all the water we've ever had. There's no new water coming to Earth. It's the same water we had thousands of years ago, and it's the same water we'll have for the rest of our lives. And what happens is, and let's just use America as an example. Most of our weather comes from the west coast to the east or southwest like that. And so what happens is these clouds are going over the Pacific Ocean, and they're picking up salt water. And then they're picking up so much of it, they're dropping it somewhere else and raining. But when it rains, it doesn't rain salt water. So that means the clouds are literally picking the water up, filtering it, cleaning the water, and dropping it somewhere else, and then picking it up and moving it somewhere else. It's just the same water. And, you know, we actually know the ingredients for water, H2O. We know the recipe, 2 atoms of a hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. We know that, but you can't make it. You can't make water. And so we literally have a filter system that is floating above us, picking up water and moving it and cleaning it and dropping it. Ain't no human power create that. If a scientist did think of that, like, okay, we need a floating filter system. He couldn't create it. How do you make that? You know what I'm saying? I know this may sound crazy and shit, but I'm trying to open some of your minds because I know how hard it was for me. That stuff works so, and look how important water is for us. You can literally live longer without food than you can water. We have to have water. Not just us. Everything, every living thing needs water. Animals, plants, crops, fruits, vegetables, trees, everything needs water to live. Well, I think God probably knew we would need water. And he provided a system that literally works above us all the time that's just cleaning water and moving it around. Right? I don't know. It's pretty crazy. So it gets me thinking, and I can go off on a squirrel trail. I can sit here and talk 30 minutes about all these things that happen around us every day. About how our bodies work. It's the most complicated machine ever. I mean, think about this. Women carry a freaking human being inside their body, bro. It's weird, right? I mean, but it's so natural. It's so regular. We don't think about this stuff. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. Pretty cool. Anyways, I hope that helps somebody. Just a small glimpse. But everything that's going on around you, man, God is all around you. If you're willing to look, you're willing to open your mind, you'll find it. If you want to poke holes in it and say it's BS, that's what you'll find. But if you really are willing and you want a new way of life and you're really seeking this deal, you'll find it. It's all around us, man. And and what's cool is God created this whole world, man. And he looked down here and he thought that the world needed one of you in it. And you, and every single one of us. He thought the world needed one of us just as much as we needed water. Not by accident, boy. You're all part of the plan, bro. All right? All right. So tonight we're talking about mourn to be happy. And so that's like an oxymoron, right? Mourn to be happy, but that's just what God does is he takes what we think we know and he flips it upside down. And so first I want to start off with some questions. We got a guy with the microphone. There he is, Nick. Deacon Nick. There he is. Oh, yeah. So first off, what was one thing about last week's session that's been on your mind this week? Are you willing to share about brokenness, if you can remember? Anything? We just leave here and just forget about it, don't we? There we go.
No matter how broken we are, God's going to love us for who we are.
There we go. I like it.
No matter how broken you are, there's always somebody else that's doing something worse or
I couldn't hear you, sir.
I said, there's always somebody worse off than you are. Just gotta find them and try to help them.
Right on. Thank you.
I think that video really touched me with the ladies going into the strip club and feeding those women. That was something that really stuck with me.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Right? Got Dallas way back in the back.
You supposed to see me walk around?
Man, I was just really thinking about that video and how, you know, the suffering that you're going through, the suffering that those ladies were going through wasn't the end of their story. You know, it was an introduction to the beginning of their story, right? That lady came in there in the most pain and suffering in their life, and that's what defined their faith right there in that moment. You know, it was the turning point. And for so long, I always think, you know, I think we all have thought, oh man, this is the end of it. I can't stop using drugs. I can't stop making bad decisions. My life is over, da 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 da. But once I've come to learn that suffering and know that there's a way out, it was the beginning of a new way of life for me.
Right on. So, like I said, today we're going to be talking about mourning. When you are feeling down, what is your favorite comfort food? That's an easy question to answer. Yeah, get somebody involved here. She said, really? Hey.
I like snack cakes.
Snack cake. Absolutely. Yeah. What kind? Nice.
Haagen-Dazs cookie dough ice cream.
Haagen-Dazs cookie dough ice cream.
Ice cream, any kind.
Any kind.
Mine's tacos.
I love tacos.
Can't go wrong with Mexican ever.
I love Mexican food, period.
Pizza.
Pizza.
What's yours, Travis?
Spaghetti.
What'd he say?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I actually don't have a comfort food when I'm down. I lose my appetite and don't even want to eat.
You just don't eat? Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Get that.
Pizza, spaghetti, raviolis.
What
Taco
is it,
Bell.
dude? What'd he say? Hold it for him, Nick.
I said there's a whole list of them. But I like apple pies.
Apple pies. Nice. Homemade? Oh, the little, yeah. I got you, dude. We know what you like, Roland.
Dirt cake.
Dirt cake.
Listen, if you never tried it, it's fire. It's made out of Oreos.
Okay. Dirt cake. Don't be eating dirt, Roland.
Don't eat dirt.
Stop eating dirt, bro. All right, so what tonight comes from is the scripture Matthew 5:4. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. Make sure Josh don't mess this up. All right, so God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. What's that mean to you? Anybody want to share? Got a guy right here, got a couple back there. Hey, give them not very good, but
All right, I'm having a brain fart. What was it again?
Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. What does that mean to you, sir?
To me, it's the circle of life. We are born here to die. It's only two things we have, like, for certain that we know. And then for like new life to happen, you have to have death. So that can be peace. To me, I don't know.
Right on, dude. Heck yeah, thanks for sharing.
I think by mourning, I'm admitting that I'm wrong. I'm admitting that I'm powerless. And because of that, I'm humbled. And God blesses the humbled.
Okay. A good spin off of it there. I like it.
I kind of take it as God provides ease and comfort through him.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So when we're mourning, usually mourning because things didn't go the way we wanted it, maybe. And the one that really matters is the one comforting us.
Yeah, I think it means like, also in the Bible it says, Jesus says, let me teach you because I'm humble.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always thought about that, it's like, why didn't he say, let me teach you because I'm pure in knowledge of the Son of God? But I think it's because humility is the foundation for every other virtue there is, When you humble yourself, you can you're at the end of self. Like the video said, in our culture, we have a tendency to throw away things that are broken, but that's right where God will meet you,
Yeah.
That's kind of what it means to me.
Okay.
Usually, when you're mourning somebody, that means you love them. And first two commandments are what? Love God and love everybody else.
That's good, Brian. Lindsay? Anybody else? All right, so tonight's video is about an NBA player who, had it all, right? The money, the women, the cars, the house, and it just wasn't filling him, and it kind of takes a turn. And so it's a good video, man. We'll go to that right now.